So hi guys, today I'm filming my labor and delivery story. I know it's been a while since you guys saw me. I had my babies, but I'm just going to get into this video and thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. So my story begins April 13th. I started having pains. That evening, that day I was, wasn't feeling well and stuff. Prior to this, I had been hospitalized like 2 days or a day before that or something. Like I'd been hospitalized in the hospital where they were born at, and then they had released me from being there. I think I was out like 2 days whenever I had to eventually go back and like have them or whatever. So that was, but I was having pains that evening, and my mom worked 4 to 12 that night. She worked 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. So I went to work with her, and I was still having pain, and I went in this one room and was sleeping, trying to sleep. I went to rest and lay down, and I was so swollen. Like, I had been swelling really bad because when I was in that hospital, they diagnosed me with moderate preeclampsia, and I had been swelling for a while, but this was horrible. I couldn't wear shoes. I had to get slippers. Well, the night before that night, I had been to the hospital, my local hospital, and they released me, told me, that where I was having pain was just in my ribs, was just from where the babies were growing. Well, the next day, of course, my mother took me to work with her. I was uncomfortable that whole time I was there. I ate once, but I was still having some pain. It was pretty painful. And I was like, making noise and stuff. It was painful. I'm going to say painful a lot in this video probably. So at 12 a.m. rolled around, and we drove back to our house, and she said if I needed to go to the hospital, she'd take me. Well, I didn't go then. I ended up going home, and I started having pain. Like, I was having a lot of pain. I tried to lay down. Rolling over was really hurt me. We ended up having to take me to the emergency room in our local hospital. We got there, whatever, they hooked me up to monitors, they did blood work, they did, took urine. I was in so much pain, I just was begging for somebody to come in and help me. Like, I was hurting that bad. So they ended up checking my blood pressure ended up being, getting pretty high or whatever, because they ended up giving me, or it was something, either it was that or it was something in my blood, because they ended up giving me magnesium to keep me from having seizures because the preeclampsia became so serious. And I developed HELLP syndrome too, on top of that. So then they, before they hooked me up to the magnesium, they come in and told me that they were going to transport me to the hospital where the babies were supposed to be born anyway. It was a high risk, like they deal with high risk pregnancies. So they were going to transport me there. They said they were going to either try to get a transport team from there, or they were going to like have the ambulance take me there. It ended up that the ambulance at my local hospital ended up having to take me. And I was on the magnesium. I had an IV in my arm, of course, for the and they would not let me get up out of bed because my legs were real weak from the magnesium. We ended up being transported from the ambulance, and the ambulance woman was wonderful. Like, she stayed with me as long as she could when they did transport me to the other hospital. So we finally got there. I'm not sure what exact time this was that we got there at the other hospital, but it is like almost an hour and 40 minutes or almost 2 hours from my house. We finally made it. Oh yeah, before we made it there though, my ambulance started smoking and we had to stop, and they had to pull the, turn off the plug-ins or whatever, but my pump still ran where my magnesium was coming through. They ended up giving me a shot of morphine on there too, because they had one ordered or whatever, and they had Zofran, but I didn't get the Zofran because I wasn't nauseous, I don't think. And I didn't get the Zofran. But we made it there. They moved me hurried up, moved me upstairs. I got up there. The doctors, basically told me that I was gonna have the babies that day. That I was gonna, have a C-section or whatever, and I was waiting on my mom to get there because my mom was in, where we live, getting stuff to bring up there. So she was on her way there while the ambulance had already brought me, so I was waiting on her, and I guess they had to wait on her to come to sign for my C-section because I was still underage at the time. I was 17. I waited on her to get there, and I was so thirsty, and I wanted a Sprite so bad, but I couldn't have anything to drink because of the surgery. And then, to cut a long story short, my mom made it there finally. And I told her they were going to deliver the babies that day. She called. I told her to text my stepmother. I waited so while I was in pain still, and I kept asking them if the delivery room was ready. Anesthesiologist came in. I told them that they couldn't do it. I had to have under general anesthesia because I have spina bifida, and they don't feel comfortable with sticking a needle in there to dig around for my spine. But they kept telling me they just did a delivery and that they were cleaning up the delivery room. I was in so much pain. I kept asking them, was they ready yet? I was so excited when they were finally ready. But what happened was they came in, they got me, they wheeled me down, set my bed outside this door, and they helped me walk to the delivery room and climb up on this bed, put my arms like this, had that mask on me, and I asked the doctor, I don't remember exact words I said, but I basically was like, please don't let me die. I remember looking him in the eye. I said, please don't let me die. And I think he told me that he wouldn't let me die, or he said, I won't let you die, I promise, or something like that. I said, promise me you won't let me die. Something like that. Dramatic, but it really happened. And then they put the thing on, and I thought I couldn't breathe, but I could. And then I just remember looking up, and then I was out. I woke up in recovery, and the nurse was in there, and I finally got to drink some water. I was so thirsty. My mom came in and showed me pictures of the babies because I couldn't go see them, and they weren't there with me because they were born premature and they were taken to the NICU. And they were doing good, they told me. They were doing good, and she showed me the pictures, the nurse and everything. I was still out of it. She kept taking it off when I'd fall asleep and kept telling me, I guess my oxygen kept dropping, so she kept putting the oxygen back on me. Eventually I made it out of there. I had a little bit of a panic attack because the nurse left the room for a while, and I woke up, and I guess I was panicking, grabbed the curtain, was yelling for somebody to come, but nobody actually came while I was yelling, I don't think. So eventually she came. She may have came while I was yelling, but I was so out of it still from everything surgery. I pushed the nurse's button, nobody came either, but the nurse's button on my bed didn't work, I guess. So, to cut a long story short, I eventually got to go see the babies later on that night. They wheeled me in with my bed. But I got sicker after my delivery because I developed the HELLP syndrome, and my blood platelets weren't clotting or something like that, and my blood pressure was really high. And also, what I forgot to mention was the severe pain that I was having. My liver enzymes were really up, so I guess my liver was shutting down. And my enzymes were up really high because of the preeclampsia and the HELLP syndrome. So my liver, that's what the extreme pain was for my liver. And when I got there, they checked me, and I was already at a 3. I was dilated. I guess I was in labor too at the same time. So I'm getting off topic here, but so I got to see the babies. I got to go in the NICU, and they wheeled my bed in. It took Novalee weighed 5'7", and Finley weighed 4'6", and they were both 17.5 inches long. It was quite an experience. It was pretty painful and scary. It took me 6 days till I got out of the hospital. I ended up having to have a blood transfusion because my blood count was 6.6. It was supposed to be 12 something. But thank you guys for watching. Sorry this is such a long video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe for more videos. I'll get more out soon. Sorry for so long about the wait on the videos. Follow me on my social media down below.